Big Mama Thornton. Just the name alone carries the weight of a musical legend, but her story is far deeper than the powerhouse vocals and unforgettable songs we associate with her. Today we'll take a journey into the life of a woman who shaped blues and R&B in ways few could, breaking barriers while enduring unimaginable hardships. From her humble beginnings in Alabama to her rise as a trailblazer in the music world, Thornton's life is a story of resilience, talent, and a legacy that still echoes in the hearts of musicians and fans alike. Let's dive in and uncover the remarkable life of Big Mama Thornton. Big Mama Thornton, born Willie Mae Thornton on December 11th, 1926 in Montgomery, Alabama, spent her early years immersed in a world of music and faith. Her connection to music began at her local Baptist church, where she joined the choir alongside her 6 siblings. This experience laid the foundation for her strong sense of rhythm and harmony, as their voices blended beautifully in gospel melodies that resonated through the congregation. However, her childhood was far from idyllic. Thornton's family faced constant financial difficulties, and her mother's sudden death when she was still very young left an unfillable void. This devastating loss forced Thornton to grow up quickly. She left school to take on menial jobs such as cleaning spittoons in a local tavern in order to support herself and contribute to her struggling household. Growing up in the segregated South, Thornton encountered systemic racism and poverty, experiences that shaped her resilience and fueled her determination to succeed. Music became her sanctuary and source of empowerment. As a child, she would listen intently to the great blues and gospel performers of the era on the radio, dreaming of one day following in their footsteps. Her path from singing in the church to becoming a blues icon was filled with challenges, but Thornton's unyielding spirit never wavered. The life lessons she learned, perseverance, self-reliance, and the art of storytelling through music, became the foundation of her journey, leading her to eventually become one of the most powerful voices in blues and R&B history. Thornton was born into a household deeply rooted in both music and faith. Her father, a Baptist minister, was a respected figure in their Montgomery community, known for his stirring sermons and strong moral guidance. Her mother, a church singer, inspired Thornton's early love of music and fostered an environment where singing and spirituality were intertwined. As one of 7 siblings, Thornton grew up in a lively but challenging home. Despite their financial struggles, the family found comfort and unity in music. Thornton and her siblings frequently joined their mother in singing gospel hymns, turning their home into a place where music became a refuge from the difficulties of daily life. This early exposure to group singing helped Thornton develop the timing, rhythm, and vocal control that later defined her artistry. The death of Thornton's mother became a defining moment in her life. Her father, though a devoted spiritual leader, faced immense difficulties managing the household and providing for his children after the loss of his wife. This tragedy left Thornton with a sense of responsibility beyond her years. She became a caregiver to her younger siblings, while also seeking work to help sustain the family. The strong familial bonds forged through these hardships played a key role in Thornton's music. Her songs, rich with raw emotion and heartfelt storytelling, often reflected the struggles and resilience she witnessed and experienced within her family. This deep connection to her roots gave her music authenticity and power, resonating with audiences across generations. Big Mama Thornton's career was a testament to her talent, resilience, and determination to succeed in the challenging world of blues and R&B. In 1940, at the age of 14, she left home to pursue her passion for music, joining Sammy Green's Hot Harlem Review. The touring vaudeville act provided her with invaluable experience as a performer, and the nickname the new Bessie Smith, a nod to her powerful voice and commanding stage presence. Thornton's big break came in 1948 when she moved to Houston, Texas, a city teeming with vibrant blues and R&B scenes. It was here that her career began to gain momentum. In 1951, she signed with Peacock Records, a Houston-based label known for fostering African-American talent. This partnership proved pivotal when she recorded Hound Dog in 1952, a song written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. Thornton's gritty, growling rendition of the track became an instant hit, topping the R&B charts and selling over 500,000 copies. Her performance of Hound Dog was raw, unapologetic, and full of energy, encapsulating the essence of blues and paving the way for the rock and roll era. Despite the song's success, Thornton saw little financial reward. The music industry at the time often exploited black artists, denying them proper recognition and royalties. This injustice was further highlighted when Elvis Presley's cover of Hound Dog became a global phenomenon, earning millions in profits and overshadowing Thornton's original. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, Thornton continued to perform and record, showcasing her versatility as an artist. She toured extensively, sharing the stage with legendary musicians such as Junior Parker and Esther Phillips. Her performances were electric, characterized by her deep, soulful voice and a stage presence that commanded attention. Thornton's talent extended beyond her vocal abilities. She was also a skilled drummer and harmonica player, often incorporating these instruments into her performances. In the mid-1960s, Thornton gained international acclaim through her European tours with the American Folk Blues Festival. Her 1965 album, Big Mama Thornton in Europe, highlighted her collaboration with notable blues musicians like Buddy Guy and Fred Below. She followed this success with another album, Big Mama Thornton, with the Muddy Waters Blues Band in 1966, featuring luminaries like Muddy Waters and Otis Spann. These projects solidified her reputation as a leading figure in the blues genre. Thornton's career saw a revival in the late 1960s when Janis Joplin covered her song Ball and Chain, bringing renewed attention to her work. Although she had initially struggled with the lack of royalties from her compositions, Joplin's success with the song provided some financial and emotional relief. Thornton continued to perform at major festivals, including the Monterey Jazz Festival and the Newport Jazz Festival, where she shared the stage with icons such as B.B. King and John Lee Hooker. In the 1970s, Thornton's career slowed, reflecting broader changes in the music industry. Despite declining health due to years of heavy drinking and financial struggles, she continued to record and perform. Albums like Jail, 1975, captured the raw emotion of her live performances, showcasing her resilience as an artist. Her final works, including the gospel album Saved, fulfilled a lifelong dream of recording the spiritual music that had shaped her youth. Big Mama Thornton's career, despite its many triumphs, was marred by controversies and injustices that highlighted the systemic exploitation of black artists during her time. One of the most significant controversies surrounded her iconic song, Hound Dog. Originally recorded by Thornton in 1952, her growling, unapologetic rendition became an anthem of black female empowerment, showcasing her raw talent and defiant spirit. However, in 1956, Elvis Presley released his cover of the song, which became a global sensation, selling over 10 million copies and cementing its place in rock and roll history. While Presley's version propelled the song to unprecedented heights, It also overshadowed Thornton's original and its cultural significance. Elvis's rendition altered the song's tone and meaning, transforming it from a bold statement about a freeloading man into a more commercial, light-hearted track. As Presley's fame skyrocketed, Thornton's contributions were largely forgotten by mainstream audiences. Despite being the first to bring Hound Dog to life, Thornton received no financial benefits from its success, a reflection of the racial and gender inequities in the music industry at the time. Another controversy involved Thornton's song Ball and Chain. She originally wrote and recorded the song in the early 1960s, but the record label chose not to release it and retain the copyright. This decision denied Thornton the publishing royalties she deserved when Janis Joplin later recorded the song, turning it into a signature hit. Although Joplin's cover brought Ball and Chain to international fame, it once again relegated Thornton to the shadows. Unlike the Hound Dog incident, however, Joplin sought Thornton's permission to record the song and ensured she received royalties from its sales, providing some recognition and financial relief. Beyond these specific cases, Thornton faced broader challenges that many black artists of her era encountered. She was often denied credit and fair compensation for her work, a painful reality that reflected the systemic racism and sexism entrenched in the music industry. The exploitation she endured not only undermined her financial security, but also highlighted the struggles faced by pioneering artists in gaining recognition for their contributions. These scandals did not merely affect Thornton's career, but also became emblematic of the broader marginalization of black artists whose work was frequently appropriated or undervalued. Despite the injustices, Thornton's legacy endured, and her music continues to be celebrated for its raw power, authenticity, and cultural significance. Her experiences serve as a reminder of the need to honor and credit the original creators behind some of the most iconic music in history. Big Mama Thornton's marital life remains an enigmatic aspect of her story, with little to no detailed information documented in historical or biographical sources. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Thornton rarely spoke about her personal relationships or family life, choosing instead to focus public attention on her music and the struggles she faced as a black female artist in the mid-20th century. Her dedication to her craft and the challenging demands of her career may have contributed to this silence about her private life. Thornton spent much of her time on the road, performing in clubs, festivals, and international tours. This itinerant lifestyle left little room for traditional domestic life, which might explain the absence of marriage or long-term partnerships in her known history. It is also worth noting that Thornton defied many societal norms of her era, including gender expectations. She often dressed in men's clothing, embraced a bold and assertive persona, and challenged conventional ideas of femininity. Her unique style and defiant attitude set her apart not only as a musician, but also as a woman who lived on her own terms. These characteristics may have influenced her views on relationships and marriage, prioritizing independence over conformity to societal norms. Some biographers and music historians have speculated about her sexuality, noting that Thornton was part of a blues tradition where artists often lived outside mainstream norms. While there are no confirmed accounts of romantic relationships, this aspect of her life has fueled discussions about her identity and the social barriers she faced. Throughout her illustrious career, Big Mama Thornton formed numerous professional relationships that significantly influenced her life and legacy. Her collaborations with legendary artists and musicians not only elevated her work, but also played a crucial role in shaping the blues and R&B landscape. One of her most notable connections was with Johnny Otis, the celebrated musician and bandleader who played a pivotal role in Thornton's early success. Otis collaborated with Thornton during the recording of Hound Dog in 1952, with his band providing the instrumental backing. His encouragement and guidance helped shape the iconic growling delivery that defined Thornton's rendition of the song. Otis also stepped in to play the drums during the session, further demonstrating his belief in her talent. Thornton's relationship with Janis Joplin was another significant chapter in her career. Although the two women came from different backgrounds, their connection through Ball and Chain bridged generational and cultural gaps. Joplin's powerful cover of Thornton's song at the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967 brought renewed attention to Thornton's work, introducing her music to a younger, predominantly white audience. While Joplin's success with the song initially highlighted the systemic inequities in the music industry, her decision to credit Thornton and pay her royalties marked a rare moment of respect and recognition for the original artist. In the 1960s and 1970s, Thornton collaborated with several blues icons, including Muddy Waters, B.B. King, and John Lee Hooker. These relationships often extended beyond the stage, fostering mutual respect and camaraderie among artists who shared a deep love for the blues. Thornton performed alongside these legends at festivals such as the Newport Jazz Festival and the San Francisco Blues Festival, further cementing her place as a key figure in the blues community. Thornton also maintained close ties with the musicians who accompanied her during recordings and live performances. Artists like Buddy Guy, Fred Below, and Eddie Boyd worked with her during her European tours, contributing to albums like Big Mama Thornton in Europe. These collaborations showcased her ability to bring together diverse talents, creating a rich and dynamic sound that captivated audiences worldwide. Despite her professional connections, Thornton often operated as a fiercely independent artist. Her relationships with fellow musicians were rooted in mutual respect and a shared passion for the blues, but she remained focused on her own journey. This independence, coupled with her larger-than-life persona, allowed her to stand out in an industry dominated by men, earning her the admiration of peers and fans alike. In her final years, Big Mama Thornton faced mounting challenges, both physical and financial, that reflected the toll of a lifetime spent in a demanding and often inequitable music industry. Her health had been steadily declining due to years of alcohol abuse, exacerbated by the grueling nature of her career and the emotional strain of systemic exploitation. By the time of her passing in 1984, she was suffering from severe heart and liver disorders, illnesses that ultimately proved fatal. Thornton's physical decline was dramatic and heartbreaking. Once a commanding presence at over 450 pounds, her weight dropped to a frail 95 pounds due to illness and malnutrition. The sudden and extreme weight loss underscored the severity of her condition, highlighting the lack of adequate medical care and support she likely experienced during this period. Her struggles were compounded by a lack of consistent income. Despite her monumental contributions to blues and R&B, Thornton received little financial compensation for her work, which left her with limited resources in her later years. The blues revival of the 1960s and 1970s had provided a brief resurgence of interest in her music, but as the movement waned, so did the opportunities for older blues musicians like Thornton. She was increasingly relegated to smaller venues, performing in bars and local festivals, far from the major stages where she had once shined. The transition from a celebrated artist to one struggling to make ends meet was emblematic of the plight faced by many black musicians of her era, whose talents were exploited but not rewarded with lasting financial security. Thornton's living situation in her final years reflected these hardships. She spent her last days in a boarding house in Los Angeles, a stark contrast to the vibrant life she had once led on tour and in the recording studio. Isolated and in poor health, she endured the weight of her struggles largely alone. Despite the hardships, she remained a fiercely independent figure, known for her resilience and determination even in the face of adversity. Her passing signaled the loss of one of the most authentic voices in blues and R&B. Thornton's influence extended far beyond her recordings. She was a pioneer who broke barriers for women in music, particularly in genres dominated by men. Her fierce independence and unapologetic artistry inspired countless musicians who followed in her footsteps. Thornton's death also highlighted the often overlooked struggles faced by pioneering artists, particularly Black women in the mid-20th century. Her story has since been a poignant reminder of the need to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of those whose work shaped the foundations of modern music, but who did not always receive the recognition they deserved during their lifetimes. In the years since her passing, Big Mama Thornton's legacy has continued to grow. Tributes to her music and life serve as a testament to her enduring impact on the blues genre. She remains an icon whose bold spirit and groundbreaking artistry continue to inspire generations of musicians and fans around the world. Big Mama Thornton's story is one of triumphs and trials, a vivid reminder of the power of music to transcend hardship and inspire change. While her final years were marked by struggle, her legacy stands tall, a testament to her talent, tenacity, and influence in shaping modern music. As we remember her today, let's celebrate not just the song she gave us, but the courage and spirit she embodied. Big Mama Thornton will forever remain a voice of the blues, a pioneer whose story deserves to be told, remembered, and cherished. Thank you for joining us in honoring this incredible artist.